Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about why you need to stop trying to be loved but love yourself instead. Okay, so why is this important? Why is it important not to try so hard to be loved? So I believe that if you're really trying really hard to be loved, to be liked by someone that perhaps you like, or you're trying to get someone back and you're desperately trying to prove yourself worthy of them, in my opinion, that's very self-rejecting. Because if you're trying so hard to get someone to like you back, and you're trying to change their opinion basically, because maybe you already know that they don't like you in that way, so you're trying to prove yourself, or maybe you just go out on a first date with someone and you're already trying to win their approval, even though you don't know them very well yet, right? It's very self-rejecting to do that kind of thing. And the reason why that is because you believe that their opinion of you is more important than what you believe about them or your opinion about yourself. Because if you valued your own opinion of who you are, you wouldn't need to try so hard. You wouldn't need to try and get someone to love you and to want you. You would just show up as yourself. You wouldn't try. You wouldn't be like looking online for like little gimmicks, or you wouldn't be searching up the pickup artist like lines and stuff like that, which I think is super cringy. Because in my opinion, like if you find a woman attractive or you find a guy attractive, right, the best thing for you to do is, if you're finding someone attractive, just go up to them and ask them for their phone number, or say to them something like, hey, you know, this is a bit random, but I think you're really cute. When are you available to hang out? I'd like to take you out on a date, right? And then you're there. Then you don't need to do anything like, oh, I need to say this special line or something like that to get them to like flirt with me or to get them turned on or something like that. It's just so phony and it's so inauthentic, and it's approval seeking and it's needy. And even sometimes when you see pickup artists doing this kind of thing, even though they look confident, it's still approval seeking, because they're trying to get that person's attention instead of just coming up to them as they are and just starting a conversation with them, and and being authentic and saying, hey, you know what, I think you're really cute, I'd love to take you out, what's your number, or when are you available to do so, right? And they have to go around it in different ways. They're trying to like scoot around that and try, I don't know what they're trying to do. Trying to get her probably, or him to make the first move. But it's just super cringy when you see people do that kind of thing. But so when you're trying so hard to get someone to love you, I'm not saying you're a pickup artist or anything like that, but if you're going out on a date and you find yourself feeling like you need to say like a really funny line, or you're just really worried basically about how they're perceiving you, then you need to really work on that and think, what I should really be doing is just showing up as I am. And if they don't like that, then, well, whatever, I'm going to live who I am. I'm going to live by my own authenticity. I'm just going to be myself, because if you pretend basically to be someone else when you're around someone that you like, even if they start liking you, they don't really like you. They like this mask that you've put on, this facade, right? So you got to be yourself. Like, you really do have to be yourself when you go out on a date, okay? And things like that. Like when you're around someone that you really, really like, stop trying so hard. You need to, be more focused on loving yourself and realizing, you know what? If this person doesn't like me for who I am, then it's their loss, okay? And I know that's a cliche thing. You see it all the time. But one of the things about cliches is that if it's a cliche, then there's probably some truth to it, because it's something that people say all the time, right? And sometimes we can kind of ignore cliches a little bit like that. So, because you hear it so often, it's almost like one of those things that you hear it so often, you start to believe that it's false, because it just doesn't feel, because you just hear it all the time basically, or you take it for granted because you hear it all the time. But the point is, right, is that the right people will stay in your life. They will. The people that know you and know you for who you are will stay in your life, okay? So you don't need to try, okay? Now, sometimes I get people saying to me like, oh, well, if I go on a date and I'm myself, then they're not going to like me. So, well, true. That may be true. They may not like you. But what's better, right? Showing up and being inauthentic, right? And trying too hard and winning them over than having to, pretend that you're this person for the rest of your life. Or, you stop acting like the facade and then they start to see who you really are, and then they don't like you. So, or is it better to just be yourself from the get-go, and if they don't like you, then you don't have to do anything. They'll just walk out. They'll just be like, you know what, yeah, I'm not interested, or just fizzle out eventually. It's way better to do it that way, right? Because then then you know, basically, then you know that this person, didn't like you, and they're not liking this fake version of yourself, right? You got to be true. You got to be authentic, okay? So you don't need to try with the right people. But another thing is that sometimes you need to ask yourself this question, that is, are you the problem, right? Because there might be some things that you're doing that are not right, or not very good in attracting the opposite sex or the same sex, as the case may be, So this is what I discovered for myself, right? Is that I would try way too hard with girls that I really liked, right? I would try way too hard. I thought that I need to pretend to be someone else, that kind of thing. And I also realized that there were a lot of things that I was doing when I was dating and trying to find someone that was just completely the opposite of what I should have been doing, right? Which is when I started to, get into, learning about dating and, personal development, relationships. And that's when I started to go on my own journey that actually led me to being a coach on this, right? So I realized that I had some gaps in my knowledge. I realized that there was something that I was doing wrong, right? And that made me want to change that, right? So if, for example, you've been on a string of dates and all of the girls or guys that you've been out with really dislike you and don't like you, or they, reject you, or you've always been rejected, you got to be open to the possibility that there might be something that you're doing wrong, okay? That you're doing that's putting them off you. Okay, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be worried about, because you can fix these things. I fixed those things for myself. I used to be like that. I used to never be able to get the girls that I really wanted, and all the girls that I didn't want seemed to want me, and things like that. And I was like, there's something backwards that I'm doing, because the girls that I'm attracted to don't want me, but the ones that I'm not attracted to, that kind of turn my stomach a little bit, do want me. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I realized that there was something going on with basically my energy and the way that I was coming across and the language that I was using and my approach to these things that was just way off. And one of those things was that I would go from 0 to 100, right? So when I started liking a girl, even though we'd only been on one date, I would be like completely enamored with her. And it was almost like I couldn't live without her, right? Because I just got myself so invested, even though we'd only spent like a really minimal amount of time with each other, right? So I knew that I was doing something wrong there. And when I learned that it's better to, if you're someone who falls in love really fast, to just, date once a week, just ask her out once a week. And then when she starts reaching out to you more, that's when you can start reaching out to her more. And that's when you can start meeting up more frequently and just taking things a lot more slower. That's when I realized that okay, that's what I was doing wrong. Instead of just waiting for them to get and develop feelings for me, I was pushing my feelings onto them too soon and trying to rush things because I was insecure. Because I was worried about what they thought about me. I was worried about where I was standing with them. So I kept on messaging them and asking them different things and being in contact with them all the time, because I just needed to know that they still liked me. And it was, honestly, looking back at myself at that time, to me it looks really pathetic now, knowing now what I know, and knowing that what I do and what I did to get my wife and the other dates that I'd had before I met my wife that was successful, I did everything right in those times, and now I know what to do. And you kind of look back on your old self and kind of cringe a little bit, and that's definitely something that I feel, right? So you've got to realize that there might be some things that you're doing wrong to attract the people that you want in your life, especially if you haven't been able to attract the women or the guys in your life that you are really attracted to and you really want them. There's something off with what you're doing, right? And it could be that if you're a woman watching this and you're trying to attract that really manly man, it could be that maybe you're acting too masculine around them. Or if you are a guy watching this and you're really into feminine women, then perhaps if you're putting them off, one of the things that you might be doing is you might be acting too feminine, because you see, it's the polarity that attracts, right? Someone who's very feminine will be attracted to someone who's really masculine, and someone who's really masculine will be attracted to someone who's really feminine, right? That's generally how it goes most of the time. Okay, so you got to work on that energy. A good book that kind of helps with that is David Data's The Way of the Superior Man, and also 3% Man by Corey Wayne, right? So I've got a list of books in the description of this video that you can go and check out if you haven't done so already. And 5 of those books are the best books that I've personally come across on dating and relationships, and the other books are more about personal success and that kind of thing. But if you are trying to master dating and you're trying to find someone to love you, if you're trying to find someone that you can be with, then I highly recommend Way of the Superior Man by David Data, 3% Man by Corey Wayne, and Models by Mark Manson. Okay, so those books will really, really help you on those topics. Okay, so it's important then to be more authentic, to be more yourself. And the reason why it's also important to be authentic is because if you're not being who you are, if you're not being true to who you are, and you're trying to be someone else to get someone else to like you, they're going to be able to tell that something's off, right? Because when you're inauthentic, people can usually tell, and that's when sometimes you may even come across a little bit creepy. Because that sometimes happens. Like when you see someone who's being not themselves, who's being inauthentic, it comes off as a little bit creepy and a little bit weird, or something feels off with them, right? Which might be a reason why you're getting rejected all the time, right? If that's an issue that you're having, right? It's because you're being inauthentic. You're not being yourself. You are pretending to be someone else. You're being fake, and a lot of people can smell that a mile away, right? So it's important that you're authentic, that you are yourself, but also to keep in mind that there might be a few things that you're doing just in terms of like communication or the way that you're courting someone that could have put them off you. So it's a good idea to go and check out those recommended books. If you do purchase a book through those links, I'll get a small commission, but it'll be no extra charge to you. Or if you would rather, then you can go and look at those books right now, write down the titles, and go and get them at your local library if they're available there, or maybe you can find some cheap versions online. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.